We're home.
Travelogues with Bob and Dogs. Travelogues with Bob and Dogs. Travelogues with Bob and Dogs. Travelogues with Bob and Dogs.
Well, it's been a long trip. How long, you say? Let's go in and look at the numbers. I forwarded my mail to my sister for the 3 months I was gone on this trip. And when I came home, that is the pile of mail I found, with the change of address confirmation right on top. So, they blew changing my address, right? And shipped all my mail here, right? No. I had my mail forwarded to my sister. She got about a third of it. All the rest of it ended up here. Let's look at some numbers, shall we? We were on the road for 84 days, which is exactly 9 weeks, and exactly 1 week short of 3 months. During that time, I drove, not them, I drove 11,606 miles. It took 280 hours to drive that far, which comes out to 11.6 days. Who cares? We saw 19 states. We didn't stay in 19 states, but we saw 19 states. Some we just drove through, but we spent 12 days in Texas, so that ought to count for something. Now, how much all did this trip cost? I'm glad you asked. We spent, this is what I thought was going to be the biggest ticket item, is diesel. We spent about $3,400 on diesel. But we spent $3,800 on hotels. That's because we spent 22 nights in hotels. And it goes like this. When we left from Maine to go to South Carolina, all along the East Coast, it was winter. There was no place to stay. We could have stayed in Walmart, but I'm not dealing with that bathroom nightmare. So we were in hotels all the way down the East Coast. And then as we headed across the country, we stopped in a hotel every 7 or 8 days so I could take a hot shower, I could do laundry, and also it's much easier to work in a hotel. When I had copious amounts of work to do, we would stay in a hotel. Then when we got to California, the weather there the entire time was terrible. There was snow, there was wind, there was rain. And as a result, every national park was closed. Every state park was closed. The Pacific Coast Highway was closed. And we were going to cut across California and go back home down through Nevada. But they got over 2 feet of snow in the Sierras, a foot of snow in Flagstaff, Arizona. So the only choice we had was to go south. And to get to where we were going in Arizona was 700 miles. So that was a few days with nowhere to stay but a hotel. So that's why that was such a high ticket item. Plus, some places ding you pretty good if you're traveling with dogs. We spent $1,600 on campgrounds, which, you know, for the period of time we were gone, I think that's pretty good. I ate $1,400 worth of food. And finally, miscellaneous was about $1,700 worth of stuff, including a $700 vet bill because I left home without heartworm and flea and tick stuff. And the only way I could get it was to go, I had to make an appointment and see a vet, and I guess he saw me coming. Ow. I'm not including in the total getting my swell spare tire rack installed at Owl Vans in Marin, California. I'm not telling you how much that was. The total cost of the trip was $12,703.68. Plus, I paid cash for this haircut. I got it in Abilene a few days before Christmas, and I'm still rocking it now. And the last number I will leave you with is that stack of mail that I never should have got was 7.5 pounds. 7.5 pounds of mail that should never have come here. Thank you, Postal Service. I want to leave you with one last thought. A lot of people who've watched the videos say, wow, that looks like a fun trip. Did you have fun on that trip? And the answer is no. I would not characterize it as fun. I would characterize it as a great adventure. But the reason it wasn't fun is the whole reason that I went on this trip is because my wife died. And that's the only reason that I ever planned to buy an Airstream and do this ridiculous trip. And to do it again, I would have bought the Airstream 3 years ago and all of us would have taken a trip. A mistake I won't make again. So, this is the end of season 1 of Travelogues with Bob and Dogs. We're going to take some time off, work on the rig, plan for the next trip, and we'll be heading out before you know it, and with an exciting new season 2. So that's it for me, Bob and Dogs. So join us next time on Now.